Let's go, baby. UFC Fight Night. Whittaker versus Gastelum. Catch it, April 17th. Let's dive into this, bro.
Yeah, man. So this fight was originally scheduled for a middleweight championship. You know, both guys were on the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, but Robert got hurt just a few days before the fight, man. Had to have surgery.
How long ago was that?
A couple years.
2
years, man. Yeah.
Around the time he was fighting Yoel twice?
Yeah, shortly after that. Because then Kelvin shortly took the fight he took the fight against Adesanya instead later on.
Okay, so this is a long time in the making, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, man, this was destined to happen. Your boy Paulo had to step out. Kelvin steps up.
Bro, I forgot Paulo was originally for this one. When did he drop out? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
A month and a half. Yeah, a month and a half, maybe 8 weeks ago.
What the hell? What was his excuse again? Why did he drop out?
I think he said some sort of injury.
Too much wine?
Yeah, I would have liked to see that fight, see what shape Paulo's in, coming off an L. His first. But yeah, Robert's on a roll right now, man. He's top of the food chain besides Izzy here. He's ranked number 1 at middleweight, 23-5 record. He's got double dubs over Yoel.
He just beat Cannonier and Till his last 2 fights. Very impressive wins. His only loss in like the last 6 years was Adesanya. This is kind of a step down in competition for him, I guess, huh? In terms of rankings and everything.
Yeah, in terms of rankings, yeah, you got Kelvin. He's ranked number 8. He's got a 17-6 record. He's just been on this skid, man. Losing a few fights, you know. He got that, what's his name? Hermanson fight. Got that heel hook, I believe.
Yeah, like instantly.
You know, that's just a tough out.
Yeah, that was a tough one. He dropped 3 fights in a row. The first one being that Adesanya fight you were talking about. Then Till. And those 2 went to decision, and he lost the split decision with Till. So that's really close.
Yeah, it was.
Then you had the Hermanson one. Yeah, something just went wrong in that one, I guess.
He got caught in a bad spot. He tried to defend it one way instead of another way. And it is what it is, man. Sometimes it goes like that. But yeah, he got some good wins over Bisping and Jacare.
Oh yeah, dude. Don't get it twisted. He's a beast. Just been having a rough time lately.
Yeah, man. Just not good for him. He does have a win coming off. Not too long ago, he fought pretty recently against Ian Heinisch. Won the decision there. So, showed a lot of wrestling in that fight, which was cool to see.
Yeah, that was crazy. He had 6 takedowns in that fight. 3-round fight.
6? Bro, Ian Heinisch is like an all-American wrestler, I'm pretty sure. Or at least like a state champion.
He's big as hell. That's what I know.
Yeah. Totally outsized Kelvin. Kelvin's getting the takedowns.
Gastelum's got that low center of gravity. That's why he could do it.
All right, man. So moving on to the striking portion here. Who do you think's the better striker?
What a question to ask.
What a question.
What a question to ask. I wasn't expecting that one. I think this fight's going to be primarily striking. I say that, but then what we saw from Kelvin in his last fight, do you think there's any chance that he does that in this fight? Like all those takedowns against Rob?
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. He's going to need to pace himself and time these things up. Like, I think it would be smart if he did it like towards the ends of rounds just to test the waters. See if he can control for the last 2 minutes of a round and then make it even on the feet. That'll win him rounds if he's able to take Robert down, but...
Yeah, that will. That would be huge if he had time on top of him on the ground. Yeah, I think with the striking, you just look at Robert Whittaker. He's so quick, man. He's bouncy. He's in and out. He's only ever been outstruck by Adesanya in the last 6 years. Wonder Boy outstruck him too. Wonder Boy, I think, actually KO'd him 7 years ago. That's Wonder Boy, though, man. Wonder Boy and Adesanya are the only 2 to ever outstrike him, right? 2 of the best strikers in the whole company. Rob's a beast. He's smooth with the strikes, man. He bounces in there, pieces people up, and slides out. And also, fun fact, he landed 69 strikes in both of his last 2 fights. So, because of that alone, I have to give him the edge.
Damn. What a stat. What a stat, bro. Yeah, I don't got anything like that. All I was going to say was the speed advantage, the quickness advantage. I think there's not a huge discrepancy in power here. I think they're pretty close in power. Kelvin might be a little bit more, but it's really close.
Kelvin's got bombs for sure, man. It's just kind of the style. It's more of a style, I feel, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to give Whittaker the edge based on all that.
What about the wrestling?
Yeah, man. Like we were saying about the Ian Heinisch fight, we saw Kelvin come up with some good wrestling. You said 6 takedowns against that guy, so that's really showing something there.
That's crazy, man. We've never seen that from him. Is this like the new Kelvin, man?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Totally reborn. Robert uses wrestling too, but it's mostly like when he's in trouble, I've noticed. Like he'll go for a single leg if he gets dropped or something, which he does,
Yep.
you know, here
That's
and
what
there. So
most of the experienced guys do, you know.
yeah. Anyway, though, I think Kelvin's just better versed here, what we saw in the last fight, and then not a lot of offense from Robert unless he's in trouble, and I think Kelvin can negate that to some degree, so I'm going to give Gastelum the edge for wrestling.
That's the main thing we've talked about is Kelvin's wrestling and the 6 takedowns, and you know, just seeing that he has that tool in his arsenal, I got to give him the edge. We haven't really seen that from Whittaker, not to that extent, so I'm going to give Kelvin the advantage for wrestling.
For sure, for sure. What do you think about jiu-jitsu, man?
It's tricky with these guys. They both like to strike. I think this is primarily just going to be a striking match. But I mean, Robert doesn't have any submission finishes in the UFC, at least. Kelvin has a couple of rear naked chokes really early in his career. Like, they don't go for submissions at all. Even though Kelvin had those 6 takedowns, it's like he didn't get a submission, right? It was like control, ground and pound sort of style is what he does if he is able to take Rob down. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to see a submission just because I've seen it from Kelvin, just like with the wrestling. I've seen it from Kelvin. I haven't seen it from Robert. I'm going to give Kelvin the edge in the jiu-jitsu. What do you think?
Yeah, so both guys, like you said, that's not like their main thing. They're not hunting submissions. They want to hit you with shots and then soften you up for something, for the most part. I had no idea who to pick on this one, so I went and Googled, hey, who's got the higher degree belt in jiu-jitsu? And Robert's got the black belt. Kelvin's got the blue belt, so I'm going to give it to Rob.
Dude, I thought that shit was like just karate, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
No, this shit universal, bro.
It is weird. Like, I wonder how relevant that stuff actually is. Like the belt rankings, you know?
It's super subjective. Some people get it quick. Some people don't. They do it for years and they're sitting on a purple or a brown or something. So
yeah, because there's not a set standard, right? Like, it has to be given to you by like a trainer or a coach or something, right?
Yep.
By your sensei. So, okay. That's interesting. I like that angle, though, looking at it, because that one is pretty much a toss-up. So,
yeah.
What about endurance, though? What belt does Robert have in endurance?
Shit, man, I ain't got no belt for no cardio. Shit, cardio king. No, like, as far as their fights go, both of them have seen 5 rounds before. Obviously, Robert's been there more often, and he succeeds more often. You don't really see him slow down that much, unless it's due to damage, it seems. But I got a little funny story I saw on Instagram. They were doing an Ultimate Fighter challenge, right?
Okay.
So the challenge was the team captain has to run 13 laps, and they win 5K. So, you know, they're doing their little pre-interviews, and they're talking, and Robert's like, yo, I'm not worried about this, you know, I'm used to the heat or whatever, and, you know, let's go. And then Kelvin's like, I only run 200-meter sprints and 400-meter sprints in my training. We don't do anything past that. I'm like, damn, you're not running more than a quarter mile? That's crazy. Long story short, 10 laps in, Kelvin's throwing up, and then Robert's laughing him. So, I mean, it pretty much says everything there, bro.
I haven't heard that. I haven't seen that. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, dude, it was like 107 degrees and shit. So this is bad. Like, Dana's like making his fighters do all this crap.
Yeah, right.
5K.
For 5K, right? Chump change compared to what these guys should be making.
Shit. So I'm going to go with Whittaker on this one, man.
Damn, dude. That's a good story. I like that. I didn't know anything about that. I'm giving the edge to Whittaker as well, just because he's seen 5 rounds more than Kelvin has. He's gone the distance more, and if we're just going off looks, he looks more athletic, so...
There is that, yeah.
It's the eye test, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Rob.
Cool, man. Who you think's got the better chin here?
Yo, Kelvin's time to shine. This man's never been knocked out, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to war. He's not like Mayweather where he's slipping and ducking and everything, right? He goes to war and he's never been knocked out. On the other hand, Robert's been knocked out by Izzy. I believe he was knocked out by Wonder Boy. That was a long time ago, though. but also in his last fight with Cannonier, he got stumbled bad. I thought he was, if that fight went on any longer, he barely survived. I was like, man, he might have been actually knocked out. And then he was rocked by Till a few times. That he kind of did the wrestling thing you were talking about. He gets snubbled and he dives in and wrestles, which is really good. It shows, I mean, that's a whole skill of its own, but it does kind of make you iffy on his chin and how much you want to believe in it. So yeah. I'm going to give Kelvin the advantage because that man's just a tank. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, so both these guys, they've left something in the octagon, and a handful of their fights, especially Rob, man. Going the distance with Yoel twice. I was watching the second one back, and he is so hurt, man. Like, consistently, and getting knocked down, and then getting, you know, ground and pound, and then getting up, and then getting knocked down by Yoel. Like, he's lost something, you know. Like we say, you know, you can't condition your chin. It just goes away.
Yeah, man.
And Kelvin's had a really good layoff here where he hasn't gotten hit, like, at all compared to what he, you know, had to deal with Izzy. So you got to give Kelvin the edge here, man.
So who do you got for the final prediction, bro? Impart your wisdom on our viewers.
Okay, so like everything's going for Robert here, right? I mean, there's so many things you can stack up in his favor. Like when they are both tested, when they're both, you know, on their shield, Robert consistently makes it happen. Not against Izzy, you know, but neither did Kelvin. You know, just based on the, you know, the X's and O's, Robert's got the speed advantage. The power is pretty similar. And if Kelvin can throw in some wrestling, like later rounds, and especially if he can mitigate the wrestling, if he lands one nice shot and stuffs a takedown, that could be the game changer. That could be all it takes. But, you know, screw it. We're going to take Robert via decision because I think he's just going to outlast him. He might get a late finish. If he can, you know, keep his distance, not get caught with anything, I think Robert's just a better all-around fighter. Robert by unanimous decision. What do you think?
Man, so I see this fight going in one of two ways. Kelvin wins by knockout or Robert wins by decision. Man, dude, I really think Kelvin has a good chance of knocking him out.
I want to pick Kelvin too, like part of me does.
Dude, he's just gonna come out of nowhere and then go for that belt, bro. Like, for real, he could, man. What if he stumbles him and then, like, he negates the wrestling when Robert dives in to try to take him down? He negates it and rocks his ass again. Like, oof. It's a tough call, man. Like, I could so easily see that happening, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to what I wrote down on my notes. Robert Whittaker by decision. That's what I'm predicting. But if it goes the other way, I told you so.
Vanilla ass.
I know. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
But I do think this is going to be one of the best fights of the year, if not the best.
Dude, it could be, man.
It's perfect. It's fireworks. Both guys want to throw, man. Both guys want to throw hands.
Yes.
That's what the fans like to see. Both great chins. Enough power to hurt a guy, but not like enough to one-shot KO necessarily. So,
yeah, kind of like Till versus Whittaker. That was a war on the feet for sure. All right, guys, let us know who you think is going to win the fight in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, share.
Ding, ding.
Noties on. What else is there?
I think you covered it, buddy.
I covered it. So, see you guys.
Deuces.
Peace.